Well, here I am at what used to be my store, Monster Kid Boutique, here in Calgary. Got some empty racks behind me here. Yesterday was my last day. Oh, there's Shock Monster. Gotta take him home still. Yesterday was my last day, clearing out here by the beginning of March, which was actually like 2 years to the day where I like signed the papers and started moving in and that sort of stuff. Why did I close? Lots of reasons. The economy is just brutal right now. Business running a store is meeting the right people with the right product at the right place at the right time. And if those don't line up, well then you close. I gave it 2 years of shot, or 2 years of effort, but it's the economy is terrible. The exchange rate is terrible. Right now, it's 73 US cents to the Canadian dollar, which is brutal. Basically, just add 25% to everything, and that's like the price that we have to pay for it. For those of you in the United States, to understand. And yeah, just a lot of people who thought my store was cool but didn't buy anything in it. That's something I learned to dislike. I don't feel entitled to anyone's money, and thank you very much to those of you who actually did support the store by shopping in it and buying things. I really do appreciate that. But please don't, just for the sake of the people who are running the stores that you go into, please do not gush about how awesome and amazing their store is and then leave without buying anything. It's really, really, disheartening, demoralizing. But it is what it is, which is, of course, the white people cry for help. Not super duper broken up about closing the store, because the store really was only ever a project to teach myself business specifically, because my background, I mean, you might not know too much about it unless you've been paying attention in the live streams, but my background, I've been working either full-time, part-time, seasonally, whatever, in the museum and heritage field as a professional educator for about 25 years or so. Thereabouts. And my undergraduate degree is in museum and heritage studies. My graduate degree is actually in theology, because I had thoughts on becoming an ordained minister. That did not happen. And then the 10 years preceding COVID, I worked full-time as an educator, teaching art and history and culture and science and nature and so on. But then COVID, upended everything, and everyone got laid off, and haven't been able to get really a paid position in the field doing what I do for various reasons, a lot of which I'm not entirely sure about. And cultural shifts and so on. So, thinking about what I want to do and becoming entrepreneurial and what are my sort of dreams and goals and ambitions and so on, and how do I get there, one thing became apparent is that 25 years as a professional educator with a master's degree in theology doesn't really teach you how to run a business. So it was either spend my severance on getting a degree or a diploma in business, or starting a business and teaching it to myself. So I opted for the latter because why not? I might actually make some money. That did not happen. Might actually make some money, and it's a very good, expensive way to buy toys for wholesale. So I created the Monster store. Actually started with the idea for doing a Tiki store with a Monster section, and I flipped that, Monster store with a Tiki section. And I guess when you are learning business, the last thing you need to learn is how to close a business and when to close a business. So that's what I'm learning now, is when to do that. So I've gone through the full cycle of education here, the full course over 2 years. 2-year on-the-spot degree of hard knocks, real life, whatever. So what did I learn? Well, it's really difficult to do business. Oh my God, how anybody makes money is baffling to me at this point. Everything is so expensive. Like weddings, how as soon as they find out you're doing a wedding, they jack the price of everything. Business is even worse than that. And like everyone has a handout. Retail spaces are incredibly expensive to rent. Canada Customs, FedEx, who now I have an eternal hatred for. Most of my headaches over the last 2 years have actually been FedEx and dealing with FedEx and the fees they charge for the fees they charged you. service fees for the fees that they charged you and so on. Mostly illegally, because get like a customs agent so that FedEx can't be your customs agent. Not that FedEx will stop sending you invoices anyways, but yeah, FedEx can blow me. It's just challenging. It's a challenging environment, and you don't make a lot of money. The margins are so thin. I have a lot of sympathy now for business owners. Now that I've been in the owner class, oh no, I'm not proletariat anymore. Bourgeoisie. My debates with communists have gotten a lot more interesting now that I actually know anything about business, which they typically don't, and the different classes of business and how that reflects on their distinctions between personal property and private property and all that sort of stuff. And in the abstract, I think one of the most interesting things that I've learned as abstract theory sort of things, which is usually what I deal with, which is why I didn't know anything about business, is that every theory of value is wrong. Like labor theory of value or whatever, material theory of value. No, the only thing that creates value is desire. People are only going to pay for what they want. And if the labor you offer isn't desired, no one's going to pay for it. Doesn't matter what you think it's worth. If doesn't matter how expensive something was to produce, the materials involved, somebody doesn't want it, it's not worth anything. I've got a box here of stuff I packed up that's just going to go straight to like the thrift store because nobody wants it. So dump it on them. Yeah, like even news as an educator, right? That doing education doesn't matter if nobody values it. If nobody's willing to pay you to do it, then it doesn't matter what your experience is, your education is, your knowledge base. None of that matters if nobody's willing to pay for it. So the only thing that creates value is desire, the desire theory of value. That was an interesting theoretical thing that I learned. Turning into Uncle Tim here with various advice and so on. But I mean, the administrative stuff of running a business, yeah, I'll learn that. Good, now I know it. Now I know sort of the ins and outs and what all I have to do and the hoops I have to jump through with the government and all that sort of stuff. Learned it. Good, done. Now I can try and apply that to the other things that I want to do, the other goals that I have in doing my freelance education and so on. And I mean, one of the things that I have been doing more successfully than this store has been tour guiding over the summers. I do a seasonal tour guiding and geotourism, like so basically teaching like science or science primarily, doing that sort of work. So I can apply what I learned here to doing that better. Right, that was a lot of the goal here, and to see if I can apply this to the other things that I wanted to do in sort of education and museum field, freelancing and entrepreneurial things. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Right now, we're on the cusp of March here, so I got a few months until my summer tour guiding picks up, and I'm gonna try and take that time to get rid of all the extra crap that I have, decide what I want to keep and decide what I want to get rid of, and try and get rid of it, and spend time sort of working on myself actually, because another thing I learned this already myself over COVID is that I used work to distract myself from myself. I've alluded to this over, again, live streams and so on. I did not have a very happy childhood. And through no fault of my father. My father's great. But I did not have a very happy childhood, school and bullies and so on. And I have like cripplingly low self-esteem. But yeah, and I used work to distract myself, right? If I'm working, then I don't have to think about it. And if I'm working, then I'm successful, and I don't have to deal with my issues. And once you don't have work anymore, and the world is gone insane, you have to live with just yourself now. And what do you do? And so working on myself actually is going to be A lot of what I'm going to be doing here. I need to start exercising because I'm hitting that age where it just doesn't come naturally anymore. My metabolism is kicking out now, and so I need to actually start exercising and, prayer, meditation, whatever, cultivating some chill in my life and in my soul, um, working on my soul, working on my body, that kind of thing, and YouTube content too. Um, I went on like what 2 weeks a 2 week tear there for a bit about Tiki and Disney and Universal and all that sort of stuff, and didn't really get me any more views than a regular video. Not sure what to make about that. It's like, okay, I put a lot of effort into a positive video, I get 200 clicks, or I could just do a rant for like 20 minutes and also get 200 clicks. But still, I would prefer to not go down the route of clickbait, and if I have a criticism of something, to try and frame it in a way that's more constructive. Here's what you could do. It's like that whole could Disney Tiki without Tiki video was about. But some positive content. Talk about things that I like instead of fixating on things that I don't, and debating communists and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I don't know. The future will be what the future will be. And in the meantime, don't bother coming down to the mall because I'm not here anymore. And brought most of the stuff home. You probably noticed my Kong collection in my background because that's all home except for my giant Kong hands. Where are they here? There they are. The giant Kong hands are still here at the store because I have nowhere to put them. I have no space in my home for them. I'm not sure what's going to happen with them. But yeah, just yeah, it is what it is. And stay tuned to the channel where I'll be storeless and just nothing to do, I guess, but talk about movies and whatnot. So anyways, yeah, see ya.